Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Sunday, January 26th. I just got back from the grocery store. I think I'm going to change things up a little bit. Instead of doing a weekly grocery haul, I think when I make my meals, I'll just show you guys all the ingredients because that's essentially what I'm getting from the grocery store anyways. So just kind of a shortcut version that I think will work a little bit better. So today I'll be doing a couple recipes actually for my lunch meal prep and a little dessert thing that I found. So I'll show you guys that. And later on in the week, there'll be some more exercise reviews. So I hope you enjoy. Please like, subscribe. So what I'm making this week for lunch is a vegetable minestrone soup. So here's all of the ingredients that are going into this soup. So I got some organic kidney beans. These are, a good source of protein. So this entire can has about 24 grams of protein. Gonna have some diced tomatoes in there, tomato sauce, garlic, Italian seasoning. It called for carrots and celery, so I just went the easy route and got some of these already chopped up. Extra virgin olive oil, whole grain macaroni elbow noodles, a zucchini, a russet potato, an onion, and organic vegetable stock. So I'll just take some quick short videos during the process of cooking and of course show you guys the final product. I hope it's good. I have never tried this before. Something different to have for lunch. I'm kind of getting tired of my usual stuff, so fingers crossed. So I currently have 1 tablespoon of oil heating up in this pan. I already chopped up all of my vegetables in this bowl. I'm gonna add it to this pot, cook for about 4 to 5 minutes until they're softened, and then I'll start adding some of the other ingredients. All right, so I already added in the other ingredients because I was afraid of the vegetables burning if I waited too long and take a video. So from after the vegetables were done, I added in the diced tomatoes, the tomato sauce, the vegetable stock, and the Italian seasoning. I'm going to let this come back to a boil, simmer for 15 minutes, and then I will add the pasta and the kidney beans. While my soup is simmering, I went ahead and took advantage of that time and cut up my fruit for the week while I'm at work. So I went ahead and did pineapples and blueberries again. I've been really craving pineapple. Last time I did pineapples and blueberry, I had a great week. It was delicious. So I just thought I'd bring it back. All right, I just added the kidney beans and the macaroni pasta. The recipe only called for 1/2 cup of uncooked pasta. I decided to double that. I kind of thought that was, this is gonna be like 5 lunches for me, so that's gonna be hardly any pasta in each serving. So I went ahead and just doubled it. It is smelling so delicious. I am actually really excited for this lunch. I just need this to come back to a boil. And then once the pasta is tender, it is done. All right, here we have it. It is all finished. Put in their bowls, cooling down. I did have a spoonful. Oh my gosh, it is delicious. I am so excited to have it this week for lunch. It is exactly the change I needed. Today, I am also going to be making what is called a peanut butter chocolate chip banana nice cream. So a healthy version of an ice cream. Again, I've never tried this. Gonna give it a try, not only tasting it, but let's see if I can make it successfully. I don't know. It looks delicious. But I don't know about you guys. Every time I eat dinner, even if I'm full, I'm not satisfied until I have something sweet afterwards, and it's a big issue. So I'm trying to find some healthy alternatives that will satisfy my sweet tooth. So we'll see. So step 1 was just to cut up the bananas and put them kind of on a sheet like this with some parchment paper so I can place them in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I'm a little bit worried actually. I was impatient. Maybe I shouldn't have made this today. My bananas were not really all that ripe. So now I'm kind of thinking that my nice cream is not going to be super sweet. So I might add honey when I'm blending it. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but in the freezer this will go. Alright, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work because I didn't even really think about the fact that the only blender I have is this little cheap Hamilton Beach blender, and it's probably not even big enough to put all of it in at once, so I'm going to have to do half of the recipe and then do the other half and see how it goes. I don't know. Okay, well that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I did have to separate the batch into 2 separate parts because my blender was small and my blender probably took a lot longer to mix it than a normal blender would. But here we have it. Peanut butter's mixed in there, almond milk is mixed in there, we got some mini chocolate chips. It is in this little bread tin. I don't really know why it's supposed to be in there, but they said to do that. And I'm gonna freeze it for 2 more hours. All right, everybody, I made it back to the gym finally. I haven't worked out since last Monday. It's now like a week and a day later. It's Tuesday, January 28th, I believe. We'll see how this goes. Usually when you go this long without working out and you try and get back into it, it's pretty hard. So kind of dreading it, but I am happy. I finally broke the cycle of like canceling and not going. I could have probably gone yesterday. But I talked myself into canceling last minute because I still was not feeling 100%. And I was also tired from staying up and watching the Grammys, which I also want to have a quick little rant about on a video as well. But for now, I'm gonna head in. I'll see you guys after. All right, so I am about to go into work, but I'm about 10 minutes early. So I'm just gonna use this time to talk about the workout today. So today was an ESP day, which means there is an endurance aspect, there's a strength aspect, and there's a power aspect to the workout. So a little bit of everything. I thought it was hard. The first part, the floor wasn't bad, but the first part was hard. I don't know if it was because it was my first day back or if it was truly a hard workout. But to start off, I started on the tread. It was 4 minutes run for distance. So just run as far as you can for 4 minutes. And then once you're done, we hopped on the rower and we rowed for distance for 4 minutes. So just row as far as you can until time is up. Once that was over, the row to tread block started. So from here, you start off on the rower, you row the exact same distance that you rowed in the 4 minute row for distance. Then you hop on the treadmill, run 0.1 as fast as you can, and then you do 12 jump squats. Back on the rower, but decrease your distance by half. Then 0.1 on the tread, 12 jump squats, and then again half of your previous rowing. You just keep doing that. I think there's 4 rounds, and then if there's still time left, you just row for distance till time is called. And then on the floor, we did, let's see, the first block was a lot of mini bands. So mini bands around your legs into lateral walks with the mini bands. And then it was, I don't even remember what it was called, to be honest. I'm gonna make up a name. Single leg, hip bridge, hip thrust. So mini band around your leg still. One leg goes in the air, the other stays on the ground, and you try and keep your legs spread apart to keep that tension in the band while you do a single leg hip thrust. And then the last one was just toe touches, so keep the mini band around your legs and touch your toes like you're doing a crunch. But then the next block was, again, I don't even remember the name, but TRX band. So you hold one of the handles in your hand, and the opposite hand kind of goes down and touches the floor, and then so your arm with the band gets fully extended, and then you row on the way up and bring your other arm back up to the row or to the TRX band. That's a horrible explanation. I don't know what it's called. It was the first time we ever did them, so I really didn't even know what I was doing. The next exercise was single arm hollow holds. So kind of getting your shoulder blades off the ground, your legs off the ground, holding a dumbbell and doing a chest press with one arm, switch to the other arm. And then the final exercise was, wow, I don't know the names of any of these today. Forearm on the ground, just one So you're on your side and you're using your other hand that it's not on the ground to do kind of like a crunch. So bringing one leg up to your elbow, then switching sides and doing the opposite. So yeah, floor wasn't bad, but the run to row I thought was hard because it was more rowing based instead of tread based, and I usually like the opposite. But I will show you my graph. So on my graph here, you can see that today I had 32 splat points, which is still a good bit. I guess it's a little lower than my average. And a lot of my splat points, my 13 minutes in the orange zone, 19 minutes in the red zone, were coming from the treadmill and the rowing portion of the workouts. My 10 minutes there in the gray zone probably is coming from the floor block. The floor block, it was a little challenging, but it wasn't anything that got my heart rate elevated. I burned 788 calories, which that is low for me. Wow. Usually I'm like 800 or 900, but all right. 3,120 steps and 1.35 miles, so that is also very low for me. The only really running we did was 4-minute run for distance, and then we did the 0.1 miles on the treadmill like 3 or 4 times. So makes sense, but it's just low for me. All right, hello everybody. I am home from work. I'm about to start cooking dinner here soon, but like I said, I want to talk about the Grammys. So Rumpel wants to talk about the Grammys as well, so he's gonna join me. But first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Ariana Grande was nominated for 5 Grammy Awards. She was nominated for Record of the Year, Best Pop Vocal Album, what was she voted for? Best Pop Duo, Album of the Year, and one other thing that I cannot think of right now. Best Pop Performance. Yes, so I can deal with some of the losses, I truly can, but she didn't win any of them. She didn't win any, and if any of you guys know me, well, you know I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan. But, like, not even being biased, like, she just deserved at least one. The one that I cannot get over is the Pop Vocal Album of the Year. Billie Eilish won that one. I know her album was wildly successful, which is why I'm kind of okay with the fact that Billie Eilish won Album of the Year. Do I agree with it? No, but it is what it is. It was a successful album. But Best Pop Vocal, that album is all about whose vocals were the most impressive on the album. I don't think anyone is ever going to convince me that Billie Eilish has more impressive vocals on her album, Where Did We Go When We All Fall Asleep, than Ariana Grande did on Thank You Next. Never going to convince me of it. So I think she got snubbed. Did she deserve to win all 5? No. Did she deserve a win? Absolutely. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to have to hide these strings because Rumpel is just chewing them up. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Demi Lovato. And then on a good note, her performance was so powerful. And a lot of you probably know the whole Demi Lovato story with the overdose and almost losing her life. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, right before that happened, she came out with the song Sober. And listening to that song of time was very touching and very powerful and meaningful. But now that she's gone through everything that she's gone through and she released this song called Anyone, it was the most powerful performance. She should be so proud of herself for doing it. We should all kind of give her the credit that she deserves for that. That was not easy to do, I'm sure. Not only was it a powerful performance, the lyrics are so meaningful and her voice sounded amazing. So just wanted to end my Grammys rant on that high note. I've been listening to that song in the car ever since then. If you haven't heard it, go listen, go watch the performance on YouTube. But yeah, that's all we have about the Grammys. I'm gonna go make dinner here soon and just kind of entertain Rumpel, but I will see you guys later. So I'm about to start making dinner, and here is everything that will be included in my meal. So what I'm making is kind of like a chicken orzo vegetable kind of dish. It's super good. I really enjoy it. Keegan really enjoys it. So 1.5 pounds of chicken is what I'm going to be using. It's going to have a sweet onion, a bell pepper, some garlic, some diced tomatoes, some chicken broth, orzo pasta. I'm gonna have some butter in there to cook the chicken in. So I'm gonna use a light version of Smart Balance. We add in some frozen peas towards the end. And seasoning, I have thyme and paprika. The recipe actually probably calls for like salt and pepper as well, but that's not special, so I don't have it pulled out for you guys. But nutritionally here, we have, our vegetables. We have onion, pepper, and tomatoes. We have some starch components in our peas and in our orzo. Fat components coming from the butter. The chicken broth is actually fat-free. And protein from the chicken, so it's kind of a well-balanced meal. Probably is a little heavy on the starch component because of the peas and the orzo, but nonetheless, it's pretty good. All right, so what I have done so far is I have melted 2 tablespoons of butter in my pan here. I've added my chicken, in which I'm going to continue to kind of saute for about 5 minutes. It says 5 minutes, but it might take longer because I'm a little bit paranoid when it comes to chicken. But yeah, I'm gonna cook that. I've already pre-cut my vegetables and kind of put them in a bowl. That way when the time has come, I can just kind of toss it in there. Okay, so I've added in the vegetables, and I just need to continue to cook this now that the vegetables are added for just a couple minutes until the onions kind of become translucent, so that shouldn't take long. All right, now all the other ingredients have been added except for the peas. They go in last. I almost made a mistake that I made in the past when making this dish, so I'm glad I caught myself beforehand. 1, that way my recipe turns out okay, and 2, so I can warn you guys. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of chicken broth, just add 1. Every single time I've added 2 cups of chicken broth, it turns out like a soup, which is not what the picture looks like, and it is not what it should taste like. So just add 1. So in here, 1 cup of chicken broth, 1 cup of orzo, the diced tomatoes, including the juice, teaspoon of cayenne, or not cayenne pepper, a teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of thyme. So now this is coming back to a boil. I'm just going to reduce the heat to medium-low, somewhere in between there, and cover it and let it simmer for about 20 minutes or until all of the liquid has been absorbed. All right, and it is all done. So the peas have been added, all of the liquid has been absorbed. It looks delicious. One thing I also forgot to point out, a change I make in the recipe, is I use orzo instead of rice. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description of the video, and I hope you guys try it and enjoy it as much as I do. All right, that is all I have for you guys this time. It is a longer video, so if you have the attention span to watch the whole thing, props to you, and I also appreciate it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments section. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you later this week. Bye.